Sorry if you were on reviewing this just a second ago. I lost a little connection, so I'll just start from the top. We'll start over. Today is April 10th, 2015. I'm going to be talking about the night slate for DFS baseball tonight. Yesterday was really interesting with Steven Strasburg and Matt Harvey. Hopefully you were able to go with Harvey instead of Strasburg despite our recommendation. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that Ian Desmond had the error. That's really what screwed Strasburg in the end. You had Trevor Bauer looking great. Apparently you can throw anyone on the mound against Houston. And then in the night slate, you had Ian Kennedy pitching, who had that freak hamstring injury and left in the third inning. So that was no good for daily fantasy players who used him, which was me included. Tonight, you have some an interesting slate. The top pitcher tonight is Gio Gonzalez, and the reason for that is pretty simple. It's because you have a lot of lower bottom of the rotation pitchers going, where Gio Gonzalez, could be a 1 or a 2 on most teams, but he's on Washington, so he's a 4. He's playing the Phillies, who already have the fourth lowest WOBA in the entire league. They are 10th. They have the 10th worst K rate. So I think in general, Gio Gonzalez, he's going to get potentially 8-9 strikeouts. He's definitely the top option, even though he's the most expensive. You basically have to play him if you're on a single pitcher site like FanDuel. Just pay up for him and then just fill your lineup after that. If you do want to go cheaper, I don't mind Tim Lincecum. He's pitching in a park that we saw yesterday is really good for pitchers. The interesting thing with Lincecum is that he's a reverse splits pitcher. So, he's a righty thrower, but righty hitters historically have hit better off of him. But it's not that dramatic. And I think that there's a lot of people on that in that Padres lineup. You have the top 5 guys in the lineup that hit lefties a lot better than righties because they're all right-handed. So I think that Lincecum has a little bit of an advantage there. He's going to regress a bit and continue to decline a bit in terms of strikeouts, but I think that his K per 9 is still going to hover in that 7.5 range. So he should still get strikeouts for a guy that's going to be pretty low priced across daily fantasy sites. 2 other guys just to throw out there too is Dan Herron, who's facing the Rays, and John Lackey, who's playing the Reds in Cincinnati. I like Herron a little more than Lackey, but both definitely have upside. Lackey is going to be at Great American Ballpark, which isn't the best place for pitchers, but in general, I think those are both pretty solid options tonight in a fairly strange slate. From a hitter perspective, my favorite option, and our algorithm's favorite option, is Adrian Gonzalez, who's just mashing the ball right now. He's completely destroying the ball. He's our top hitter tonight, like I said. He's facing Chase Anderson in Chase Field. So Chase Anderson has a really bad home run per fly ball ratio. He's a fly ball pitcher, and they're playing in Chase Field, which is one of the best hitters parks in all of baseball. Adrian Gonzalez is killing it. He has a great platoon split when it comes to the lefty-righty matchup. So I think Gonzalez facing a right-hander, he sees a really big ISO jump, and because of that, I think he has a great chance to hit a home run and show off some of that power that he has whenever he does get the platoon split. If you don't want to go with Adrian Gonzalez, you could go with Paul Goldschmidt, who's another top option. He has the platoon split tonight. He's facing off against Brett Anderson, so it's a battle of the Andersons in Arizona. It's a little bit of a tougher matchup, though, than Adrian Gonzalez, and a big reason for that is that Brett Anderson's a ground ball pitcher, so Goldschmidt might not be able to get the ball up in the air like Adrian Gonzalez will be able to. So because of that, I think I'd favor Gonzalez, but Goldschmidt is obviously an option every single night, though he is a little bit more expensive. 2 other guys that I like, hitters that are a little bit more value plays. Dan Uggla against Jerome Williams. Jerome Williams is pitching for Philly tonight. Dan Uggla is batting 7th in the lineup, I believe. He's a straight punt option. He's not someone that I'm looking to score, 8 or 9 points on FanDuel or even DraftKings. I think that Uggla is just a great punt option. He's $2,200 on FanDuel. The interesting thing with him is, yes, he's facing a righty pitcher and he's a righty bat, but he actually has reverse splits as well. So, he does hit right-handed pitching better than he hits left-handed pitching, is all that really means. So I think Uggla is a decent punt option at second base. Plus, that's a position in general that you're able to punt on like a first or third or an outfield position. Shortstop, catcher, second base are definitely the places to go to punt unless you're playing a guy like Tulo or one of those top options. The other guy that I really like is Chris Davis. So we've mentioned him a decent amount on numberFire this week, or I have in some of the primers. But the thing tonight with the Brewers, and I brought up the Brewers almost every single day, but the thing tonight with the Brewers is that all those righty bats in that lineup finally get to face a lefty pitcher, and it's a bad lefty pitcher in Jeff Locke. So I think that there's a lot of upside with not just the Brewers. I'm not necessarily saying go stack the Brewers, but Chris Davis is a really, really nice priced outfielder that I think that you can throw in your lineup. He sees a 60-point raise in ISO whenever he faces left-handed pitching. I think that Davis is a pretty solid sort of punt option as well if you're looking to fill your lineup with an Adrian Gonzalez or a Paul Goldschmidt and so on, and a Gio Gonzalez, who are all going to be higher priced on every daily fantasy site out there. As for stacks, I've kind of mentioned both of them. I think that the two best ones you can go with tonight, the Nationals, who are really, really cheap, so you're able to throw in a lot of high-priced guys. So if you go with the Nats, you can get some of those better bats in there and still go with Gio Gonzalez. And then the other one that I like is the Dodgers. I love Adrian Gonzalez, like I said. Going against Chase Anderson, there's a really, really good chance that they hit a lot of home runs. And I think that you got to go for that. Go with a guy like Yasiel Puig with Adrian Gonzalez and just go through that lineup, throw them in there, and then try to find those punt options to kind of fill the gaps. So that's it for tonight. Good luck, everyone. Make sure you check out everything going on in numberFire with our primers. This video will be in the daily primer that will go out probably in a half hour or so. And enjoy your weekend.